What's up guys, Volt here bringing you a brand new movie car remake. In today's remake I am bringing you the 2011 Chevrolet Corvette C6 ZR1 from the movie The Last Stand. This car was driven by Gabriel Cortez in the movie. After being broken out of FBI custody, his crew has a car waiting for him, a 1,000 horsepower ZR1 that was apparently stolen.
Aaron, what kind of car is this?
I think it's a ZR1.
What the hell's a ZR1?
The Corvette ZR1. It's a monster on wheels. It was all over the news like 2 days ago. It got stolen from the LA Auto Show. Normally something around, 700 horsepower, but this is upwards of 1,000.
I got a psychopath in a Batmobile.
Now, I have been wanting to actually build this ever since I knew we were getting a C6 in the game. I am very happy with how this build turned out, and honestly, there isn't much I would change on this either. Just a few things, but I'm not going to really go over that until probably about the end of the actual video. Like always, we're going to go ahead and get on with the build and start off with the very first thing, which is the base price. So you want to go to the internet, you want to go up here to the travel and transport website, you want to go down here to the legendary motorsport website, and you want to go down and you want to find yourself the Invetro Coquette D5, part of the Agents of Sabotage DLC. Now there is no trade price for this vehicle. It is actually $1,730,000 base right out of the gate, and I mean it is definitely worth the money. You can make a lot of nice builds with this, and there's also a nice little feature which I'll actually talk about here as soon as we get done with the base price. So anyways, once you have your car and you have your color, meet us at the Los Santos car meet location, as you can see here. Now the one thing I had to say about this car is you cannot remove the roof. It is always going to be carbon no matter what, because the ZR1 in real life actually has a carbon fiber roof that costs roughly about $60,000 total for the entire roof. It is like a carbon fiber that is coated in a clear coat, and it is roughly about $60,000 total, which is crazy just for the roof itself. So there's a nice little feature that is actually on this car as of right now as I'm making this video. Probably within the next DLC, or possibly even if it becomes too much of a bother, they may put out a patch, but I expect it won't be patched until the next DLC. This car is completely bulletproof. You heard me right. This car is completely bulletproof. Unlike the Kuruma, which you can actually shoot through the front of the armored windows and everything, this car cannot be shot through with FMJ rounds, normal rounds, any kind of rounds at all. Also, it can actually get a lock-on jammer on it as well. Now, the only thing is it can't get any armor plating, and it actually can be shot with just one rocket or one explosive and dead. Doesn't last long, but it is really great for grinding when you're actually doing like the OG heists or Doomsday or anything along those lines, just doing grinding in free mode and all that. It is a really great vehicle against AI NPCs and all that, so it is pretty much completely bulletproof. Cops won't hurt you, nothing like that, so it is absolutely amazing. Just one thing I will note is make sure to actually put on bulletproof tires. But anyways, enough talking about the car and its features in the game. Let's go over and customize the beauty. So as you pull in the Invetro Coquette D5s in the sports category, it is self-explanatory. It is based around a Corvette C6 of some sort. I think it's basically based around a Corvette C6 ZR1. The reason I say that is because, again, the roof with the carbon fiber, like $60,000 roof that it has there, which we can't change in game, and it actually is based on the real life one, is only on the ZR1. So I would say it's probably based around a C6 ZR1. Year wise, I'm not 100% sure, but this is the closest thing we can get for the build for this one for the movie. So as I go over all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design of the car and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build to build your own, more than welcome to. Without further ado, let's get into the build. So I see Tangy's over there actually spectating me right now. I'm actually doing the video as we speak, Tangy. I know you can't hear me or really know what I'm saying, but yeah. Welcome to the video, I guess. We're going to start off with the first part, which there is no option for the bumpers. As you can see here, like there's nothing there. So we're going to move on to the exhaust. Now the exhaust, you want to go with the twin sharpened bore. Sadly, I could not find any pictures from the movie, so I actually had to go off of an actual ZR1. The ZR1 actually has these angled exhausts here. As you can see, they're cut off at an angle. They are chrome. They're really like a sharp tipped and everything like that. It looks really cool. They actually fit really well for the build, and the twin sharpened bore is the best option to go for there. After that, move on to the grill. Now there's two options you can either go for this build. The grill is actually just like a couple lines down, straight down vertically, instead of like having one horizontally. You can either go for the utility grill, which I have here on my build, or another option you can go for is actually the center grill. This gives you one line, but it still does give the like dash across. The reason I went for the utility grill is mainly because it has more vertical lines on it than just one, and it actually fits a little bit better in my personal opinion for the build, even though it does have the horizontal line as well. So I say the utility grill is the better option to go for, but I do know some people that went for a ZR1 build and went with the center grill. Completely up to you which one you choose. Me personally, I'm going with the utility grill. That's the best option I believe works best for the build. After that, move on to the hood. You want to go with the center vented hood. The reason for this is because it actually does have the kind of hood bulge on there, kind of like the way it is. The sad part is we can't get like the little vent at the very front where the headlights are, like where the meets like the emblem and everything on the front of the actual hood. But we actually get the basic design of what the actual hood is like, but it does have like a cutout, or like the engine's kind of like sticking up through the actual like hood and showing how much horsepower and all that it has. But unfortunately we can't get that look to it. There's no option for it, but the best option to personally go for, in my opinion, is the center vented hood. After that, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You just want to keep them stock. Unfortunately, it was pretty much like a white light or something like a bluish light or something like that. They weren't xenon, so don't worry about that. They were more like a white light. I guess you could go with either white lights or stock lights if you want to have like a little bit of a blue tint to them. I definitely wouldn't go with a golden shower. They weren't really that old. I would definitely go with the stock lights. I think that's the best option to go for. Next best option is either to go with the white lights, but if you want to and you really want to push it, you could go with the xenon lights. Options galore. Take your pick on which one you want to go for. I just kept with the stock lights, save money, as well as it kind of fits nicely for the build. You have like a bluish, kind of like whitish kind of tint light to it. You'll see in like some of the screenshots and stuff I had that it fits pretty well for the build. After that, move on to the neon kits. Neon layout's going to be none because it didn't have a neon. It was a show car, so most show cars don't have neon, and I wouldn't expect this car to have neon on it, especially when it's trying to be undercover at night. So yeah, I definitely would go with none. That's the best option to go for there. After that, move on to the livery. You just want to go with none. Doesn't have any livery on it at all. There's nothing changed. There's no stripes. There's no design to it at all. Nothing at all. It's just completely plain and simple, very clean, simplistic, and easy. Keep it none. Best option to go for there. After that, move on to the mirrors. You want to go with the stock mirrors. It had the same kind of mirrors actually as the car color is right now. I mean, you don't want to actually put the car mirrors on. It didn't have that. Secondary stock mirrors you're actually going to be paying more money for, so just keep them stock. They're the same color as the car, and that's what you're going to change it as. So there you go with that. After that, move on to the plate. You want to go with a blue and white 3, which is kind of like a vanity type plate for the actual car. And the plate that was actually on the car in the movie was ZR1. Now, that's probably because it was a showroom car. They stole it, and, you know, it's 1,000 horsepower and all that. You'll see that clip at the very beginning of the actual video and everything. But the plate you want to go for is ZR1, and it's going to be a blue and white 3 to kind of get the vanity style looking plate to it. So, yeah, if you can do that, best to go for there. If not, just go for any other plate you want. But I mean, if you want to recreate the actual plate, it's ZR1 and it's a blue and white 3. After that, move on to the rear diffuser. You just want to go with none. Didn't have any rear diffuser on the actual car at all. It was kind of hard to find back end pictures of the actual car, but it doesn't look like it has any kind of rear diffuser to it. So I mean, it was like a show car. I don't think it would have a diffuser on it being a show car. I think it'll be nice, clean, and simplistic, and basically based around its design, its look, making sure it's in pristine condition, maybe more horsepower and all that. So I would definitely go with none. I think it's the best option to go for there. Saving respray for last, we move on to the skirts. You want to go with the carbon sidebars. Now again, the front, side, and the roof is all pretty much carbon. It was kind of like a carbon type body kit, except for the rear diffuser and all that. There's no diffuser on there. So the carbon sidebars is the best option to go for there. They kind of angle out just the right amount that we need. They just fit really nicely for the build. There's no other ones that I think fit really good for the build. They didn't stick out too far, but they stuck out a little bit. It had a certain kind of design to them. Unfortunately, we can't get the design in game, but this is the closest thing we can get to, I think, for the build. So the carbon sidebars, best option there. After that, move on to the splitters. You want to go with the carbon vent race splitter. The reason for this is because the actual splitter on the car was like 2 holes, but they're kind of a little bit more spaced out, but they were completely carbon as well. It was a completely carbon splitter. So this is the best option I could go for the build. I don't have any alternatives, but you guys have any, let me know down in the comment section down below. But I think the carbon vent race splitter is the best option to go for there. It also does jut out a little bit longer, and it does actually fit pretty nicely for the build and how it's supposed to look. Don't go for the secondary trim. It's just going to make it the same color as the secondary, and your secondary is going to pretty much be the same color of the car. So you're just going to be spending more money, so just go with the carbon vent race splitter. Best option there. After that, move on to the spoiler. Now, I actually couldn't find any like solid pictures for this, so I had to kind of look around a little bit. I looked at the real life ZR1s, I looked at the ones from the movie, and I found a few pictures. The best option I could go for is the secondary rounded ducktail. The reason for this is because the ducktail, unfortunately, I think it would be like a solid, like straight piece and all that, but it's actually not. It's actually a rounded design to it. Kind of curves and fits the body a little bit more with the shape and everything. So the secondary rounded ducktail is the best option to go for, because if you go for the carbon, it's going to be carbon, and it wasn't carbon. And if you go with the plastic, it's just going to be like a black plastic. You want it to be the same color as the car, so unfortunately you're going to change your secondary color to the basic color of the car, and you're just going to make the secondary rounded ducktail your best option to go for the spoiler, to make it fit and just kind of fit the best for the design as well. You got the kind of rounded end for the spoiler to kind of like fit in with the body of the car and everything. It looks really nice, it fits really well, and I think it's the best option to go for it there. After that, move on to the suspension. I went with the competition suspension. I mean, it was lowered, it was pretty low. I mean, it was, again, a show car, most likely it would be lowered, I would think. So yeah, competition suspension, best option to go for there. After that, move on to the turbo. You just want to go with the turbo tuning. I mean, if it's supposed to have 1,000 horsepower, you need to have the power to back it up in game. So go with that turbo tuning. It needs that power, it needs that performance. Back in the day, the C6s actually had a supercharger, so we can't really do that in game. The best other option to go for is the turbo. Weirdly enough, as they move on through the generations, like the newer generation, the C8 is twin turboed actually, so it's kind of crazy that they went from a supercharger to a twin turbo. I personally would actually enjoy a supercharger on a C6 instead of like a C8 that has twin turbo, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Which one would you choose? Supercharger or twin turbo? But yeah, turbo tuning, best option to go for there. After that, move on to the wheels. You want to go to wheel type. You want to go down here to the track category. You want to go and put on the Ice Storm rims. These are the best for the build. The reason for this is because they have the kind of like same design for the spokes as well as the rivets around the outside, and they go all the way out to the edge of the rim and kind of like sharp and spiky and all that. It looks really nice for the build. The sad part is we cannot get them in chrome. They are supposed to be chrome, but we cannot put these in chrome. I wish we could have the track and the street or whatever other option that we can't get in chrome to actually have chrome rims in there, or actually make them chrome, or have an option for chrome in the paint at least. I mean, because there's no option for chrome. After that, move on to the wheel color. You just want to go and put on alloy rims. I think this is the best option to go for. I mean, you could go for like the frost white, but I feel like the frost white is just too white, too bright. It just doesn't fit really well for the build. I wish we didn't have any like chameleon colors for the actual rims. We don't actually have any chameleon colors. The best thing we could go for is if the graphite option was actually not like rainbow chameleon with it. That would be great. But I mean, would it hurt them to put a chrome option in the actual option for the wheel color, especially for the new like street and track, instead of actually adding a different slot there, just like these options here where they have stock and chrome? But these ones, why don't they just have the option, if you pick them, to actually have a chrome option in the wheel color? That would be great, but unfortunately we can't do that. So I think the best option to go for, other than a weird looking prismatic, graphite prismatic pearl chameleon color, is to go for alloy. After that, move on to the tires. You want to go to tire design. You just want to keep them stock. Didn't have any tire text or anything on there. So don't worry about adding or changing anything on there. After that, move on to the tire enhancements. You probably want to go with standard tires. It wasn't drifting, so don't add low grips. After that, move on to the tire smoke. You just want to go with the white tire smoke. I don't see a point in changing this. Last before the respray is windows. You want to go with a light smoke. It had like a very small, subtle tint to it. I wouldn't say it's as dark as a dark smoke, but if you want to go that dark, go for it. If you want to go with a limo, go for it. It's completely your call for your build. I would either go with either a none or a light smoke. I would say the darkest you could go for personally would be a dark smoke, but me personally, I'm going with a light smoke. It just adds a little bit of flair to the actual glass. It looks like it's actually fit really well for the build, because it looks like it does have a little bit of tint here and there, but it's not like overpowering dark like this. So yeah, definitely say light smoke, best option to go for there. Alright, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. Alright, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car and my primed out rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know what colors I'm going to be doing for the LSC color and custom crew color. There's actually 2 of them this time, guys. And if I were you, and if you had the option, definitely go for the custom crew color. If not, we're going over the LSC color right now, so stay tuned. So we're going to go over the LSC color first. So we're going to go to the primary. You want to go down to the metallics. You want to go down and you want to equip the black steel. Now, as you see, the black steel kind of gives the color that we're looking for, like a nice darkish kind of gray to it. And we're going to need a little bit of like a blue kind of shine to it. So we're going to actually add a certain pearlescent to it as well, which is also the same exact pearlescent that goes on my custom crew color. We're going to go back down to the pearlescents in the primary option. We're going to go down to the blues, and we're going to actually add a harbor blue. The reason for this is, again, in certain lighting at like night, it kind of shines a little bit more blue and a little less like silver or gray, and in the daytime it's a little bit more silver or gray and a little less blue. But I mean, this kind of gives the overall look for the actual car. LSC color does do decent justice for what we have in game, and after that we're just going to go back to the secondary color, go down to metallics, make sure you go to the black steel, because again, you want the spoiler to match the base color of the car. And that right there is the LSC color done. Again, a very viable option if you don't have the option to do the custom crew color. But I highly recommend you do the custom crew color. This custom crew color has actually taken me a long time to create. I want to actually thank my good friend Cheerful, or Taylor as most people know him, for actually helping me out with the color. He actually found like the color swatch and helped me out with like a certain swatch I can actually use and everything. I tested it, it worked great. He thinks it looks great. I will say that this and the Hobbs & Shaw 720S colors that I created are probably the hardest colors I have ever done. This color is very specific. So anyways, I'm going to put the hex code and RGB down in the description below, as well as the hex code on screen right now for you guys. So you will see the color change in 3, 2, 1. As you can see, it gets a lot darker. Now, the reason for this is because it actually is a lot darker of a color. The color that is actually what I created right now, the custom crew color, is going to be called Cyber Gray Metallic, which is the main color of the C6 ZR1s back in the day. Yeah, that's the main color you want to go for. As you can see, it changed a lot. It darkened it up. The like pearlescent actually stands out a little bit more. It also depends on the light source, if it's going to be more blue or if it's going to be more gray. But as you see, the color is a lot more darker. It just fits really nicely for the build. I think my custom crew color looks amazing. I love it. It does look really good on other cars too, but I mean, depending on the actual car and the actual lighting is outside, whether it be nighttime or daytime, you're gonna see more blue, or you're gonna see more silver and like grayish kind of look to it. Cyber Gray Metallic actually has like a blue kind of shine to it in certain lighting, and it also has a silver / white kind of like grayish color to it in certain lighting as well. So the main color is like a darkish kind of gray. That's why it's called Cyber Gray Metallic. It's a very amazing looking color. It really is. And again, it's probably one of the hardest ones I've ever done as well. It's like the top 2 easy. So we're gonna go to the secondary color. We're gonna change the wing to that as well. So there we go. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's how you recreate the 2011 Chevrolet Corvette C6 ZR1 from the movie The Last Stand. So yeah, guys, if you haven't seen the movie, I would definitely go check it out. I believe it's free on Amazon Prime if you have it, so go check it out if you get a chance. It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, as well as Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. It's actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And the car scenes were just amazing as well. Like I said, this is the antagonist of the movie. I would say the protagonist would be the newer Camaro, I believe it is. But anyways, let's go back to our parking spot and let's go outside. So now that we're outside, I'm going to do a little spin for you guys real quick so you guys can see the pearlescent. As you can see at night, the blue kind of shines through instead of like the silver or the like whitish kind of like color to it, the pearl would be. Now it's more blue. As you can see, it's like a dark gray and a blue, which looks really cool. And then I'll do a transition to the daytime for you guys. Alright, now that it's sunny out, we'll do a little spin in the sunlight for you guys. As you can see, it's still a little bit blue. It's more silver / gray shine to it. And I mean, it just fits so nice. It looks so good, bro. I just am so happy with this color and how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Anyways, let's go for a drive. There's one thing I did forget to note about this car, It is something that's actually in the movie that he has. So in the movie, he actually drives while being chased by a helicopter in pitch black. What I mean by that is he's driving down the road and he has lights on, and then all he does is he turns the lights off and he turns on this little like screen. It's pretty much like a camera, but it's a night vision camera. It allows him to drive at night with no lights. It's so sick. It's so cool. We don't have anything like that in game. I mean, it's such a cool little thing, and I just thought I'd throw that in there too. It's a cool little customization for this car that they had.
What is that?
Excitement.
What?
I will say that this car is really quick. Again, it is a really great vehicle to grind with, especially if you're doing like missions and worrying about NPCs and all that. But I will say one thing, it is only a 2-seater, it's not a 4-seater like the Armored Kuruma. So I mean, it is a kind of a downgrade, but it is faster than the Kuruma. It is completely bulletproof, unlike the Kuruma, and it can actually have a missile lock-on jammer added to it. I'd say it's still better than the Kuruma. It is more expensive as well, so I guess the Kuruma beats it in that. But I mean, overall, it's a great vehicle to have. And as you can see, I'm just flying down this road. It's pretty quick. But yeah, this car it just handles so nice. But anyways, guys, I think that's where I'm going to be wrapping up the video. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Leave comments down in the comment section down below for what build you'd like to see next. I'll definitely take into consideration those ideas and suggestions that you guys give, and definitely give you some feedback. Links down in the description below for the Discord and the crew. Free to join, free to leave anytime you wish. Yeah, guys, with all that being said, hope you guys have a great day/night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support, as always. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Catch you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.